Population is already high in Colorado Springs, but a state department may be adding to it. News First 5's Matt Stafford joins us from the Bijou Street Bridge with the story tonight.
Hi, Dan. You at home probably have driven over the Bijou Street Bridge several times. Well, right now it is the roof to Scott Meacham's home. But he, more than many others who are homeless, doesn't have much of a choice right now.
This is where I'm at. This will be a good time.
After getting out of prison in Sterling, this isn't the home sweet home Scott Meacham was expecting.
They paroled me directly underneath the bridge. When they release you from DOC, you get a little windbreaker of a jacket. I ended up spending the whole night freezing wide awake because I couldn't get to sleep. They just said, this is where you're going to be underneath this bridge, and that's where you're going to be until you can afford to get yourself out of there.
They keep track of him through a GPS device.
I got a red spot here where it's rubbing on me.
And it makes sure Meacham is where he's supposed to be.
My curfew is from 6:30 in the evening until 5 o'clock in the morning. During that time, I have to be underneath that bridge. Even if I had to, in the middle of the night, had to use the restroom, I couldn't even go across the bridge to the 7-Eleven. I asked that.
It's not exactly the transition house he was expecting.
The flat spot was here when I got here. I just cleared off some of the big rocks.
But for now, it'll have to do.
Maybe they're just full. I don't know why. They never told me.
A DOC spokesperson says lack of space at transitional housing is why they're releasing people into homelessness. Colorado Springs, is this where you're from? Is that why they brought you here? Or did they ask where you wanted to go? Or?
No, they normally DOC paroles you to the city at which you were convicted of your crime.
If Meacham could afford permanent housing, he would be allowed to move. And on the streets makes it tough to find work.
Nobody's going to hire you if you walk in there, put an application. They can smell you from across the counter.
Despite the circumstances, he keeps on leaving. He does every night for his few possessions that he has to hide.
I walk over here thinking, oh, please be there, because if it's not, I'm going to have nothing to sleep with that night.
As beds open up, the DOC says they'll get people in them. But for now, Meacham is out, and he doesn't want to mess that up.
I have the opportunity to get a job, get an apartment, get myself out from underneath this bridge, and eventually get off parole.
The thought gives him hope to get through a tough night. Now, today's furlough day for state workers, and that includes the Department of Corrections. Now, we're going to follow up on this story with the DOC as well as with the city of Colorado Springs, who just recently passed a no camping ordinance in public places. Live in Colorado Springs, Matt Stafford, News First 5.
Matt, thanks so much. A 27-year-old man from Manitou Springs has been killed in an avalanche.